What's going on, Tight Nation? Thank you for tuning into the Two Tone Zone. I am your host, Mr. Two Tone. And unfortunately, this evening, Mr. D. Weez is not feeling too well. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, so he wasn't able to join in and just bring his energy and bring his thoughts and his insights. So be praying for D. Weez and a fast recovery for him. But I do have a few guests that I do want to bring in. I have Mr. H-Town Scotto, a diehard Houston Texans fan. You know, one of my homeboys, one of my big homies, man, and one of my spiritual brothers. And so I'm going to bring him in a second. Here we go. What's up, Mr. H-Town Scotto?
What's going on? What's going on? Blessings. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you too, my brother, man. Thanks for coming to tune in and joining the show, blessing the show with your presence, bro. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And then next up, I got my friend from Sports Choice Plus, Steven. I'm gonna bring him in too to give it. You know, he's gonna come in and bring his non-biased insight and just make sure he's giving us that medium non-biased opinion of the Tennessee Titans in this football game that we got going on tomorrow. It's Week 17 matchup. So I'm gonna go and bring him in real quick. Steven, what up, man?
Yes, sir. Good evening, my brother. Good evening.
Good evening to you as well, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. Happy New Year to you, bro.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Absolutely, man. That's real cool, man. Well, hey, this is gonna be a little different show. I got my brother on here today, man. But hey, let's bring that energy and bring that fire as always. You know what I mean? Let's definitely bring it.
Yes, sir.
I know we're in good hands with both of y'all, man. Y'all both knowledgeable brothers, man. Very smart, intelligent guys, man. So we got H-Town Scotto, man, repping for Houston, man. It's Houston everything with him. Man. So H-Town Scotto, man, tell him who you are, brother.
Yeah.
Tell him who you are.
Man, H-Town Scotto, man. I'm big H-Town Houston over everybody, man. You know what I mean? And till I die, man. And you can't miss me all the way across the board, man. You can ask me anything about any sports, I'm with it.
That's facts,
I'm
man.
gonna give you the facts, man, and I ain't gonna say it from the heart. I'm gonna say it right, man. So that's how we do it, man.
Cool, man. Appreciate you once again. Sudaman, man, what's going on? I see you in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, my brother, man. Salute to you. Also, too, hey, Steven, man, go ahead and tell the folks where they can find you on YouTube, man, with Sports Choice Plus. Go ahead and tell them where they can find you.
All right, YouTube /Sports Choice Plus. Each and every week we do breakdowns on all kind of sports, all kind of breakdown debates, and plus you can catch me on Two Tone Zone with these amazing gentlemen breaking down sports.
Right on, man. Appreciate you, my dude. Thank you so much. Hey, Sudaman in the comments, he's talking about Derrick Henry getting 223 yards tomorrow to actually get to that 2K rushing title, man. Hey, do y'all think he can do it, man? You think he can do it, Scotto?
I definitely feel like he can do it, man. I ain't gonna lie, our defense ain't what it used to be, man. And I mean, he's gonna have to go on that opposite side of JJ, but I think what he did last year, he's gonna repeat what he did, man.
Right. And I think it's crazy how y'all are ranked 30th overall, in the NFL, being that y'all do got some weapons out there. You got JJ Watt, Whitney Merciless, but Merciless is hurt right now, or he's not going to be playing. I'm not sure if he's hurt. Is it COVID or is he hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt.
He's hurt. Okay, got you. So I mean that gives us a different dynamic to go against.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I mean, I got 32 sacks, man. And sometimes our offensive line is a little bit vulnerable, if you ask me, at times. But that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? So. Hey, folks, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We are at 315 subscribers, so shout out to Sudaman for that recognition there, man. We appreciate it, man. So please share these videos and tell any Titans fan or any just football fan in general to go subscribe, man. We keep the comment clean, we keep it funny, we keep it real, and we just bring that fire every episode we go on. So absolutely. Hey, shout out to Austin in the comments. Songs United. He said H-Town in the building. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how you do it? How you do it, Scotto? Is it the hooks? How y'all do it?
Man, we H-Town, man. Yeah, yeah, that's how we do, man.
Right. I can dig it, man. Hey, shout out to Pimp C, man. Rest in peace, Pimp C.
Yeah, Pimp C, man. RIP, man.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, man. I did want to piggyback off what you said, man. You know, with Derrick Henry though, man.
Right.
That boy a beast, man. But you know, it's gonna be a tennis match. I feel because we got Deshaun on the other side, man, and what we were saying about the D line, you know, Romeo Cornell is a defensive guru, regardless of how people think about it. You know what I mean? Even though he called him the shots for us, so I think it's gonna be a competitive game for sure. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's gonna be more offense on our side than defense. You know what I mean? Right. And then we're gonna play for pride for this last game, man. This rivalry, it's a rivalry, man. It's one of the best kept secret rivalries.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that, man, because you know, Bud Adams took y'all away from the city, man. But you know, he put y'all put the order in good hands, man. But
he did.
You know what I mean? We always gonna be loved, man, and that's a part of my heart, man. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's another part.
You know, I was trying to tell you earlier. It's always gonna be love you blue, man. You know,
right?
You know, y'all rocking in Tennessee,
right?
It's the AFC South, man. You know, I'm gonna ride with the AFC South, man.
So, man. Hey, unfortunately, man, I don't show no love to y'all though. Unfortunately, I gotta keep it real. You know, when it comes to these Titans, man, I just gotta be real. I don't really show love to anybody, to any of the opposition, man. So. You know, I see it. There's gonna be some casualties out there in the field, man. That's the way I see it. But I'm just messing with you, man. Real quick though, do you think Derrick Henry should be a candidate? You know, a highly recognized candidate for the MVP? You know, going up against the Patrick Mahomes of the league, and then in the Aaron Rodgers. So, Steven, feel free to chime in on this as well, bro.
I most definitely think he should be in the MVP conversation. When you look at the Tennessee Titans starting engine, it is Derrick Henry. From the start of not only them getting their offense going, but the building of the team is built around Derrick Henry. Sometimes he takes a little longer to get going, but when he's on, he's on. When you look at the times where they really needed a win, where they really needed to get that extra yard, he falls forward 3 or 4 yards. So he's the mindset of the team. If the defense could step up somehow and get them, let's just say 4 stops in a game, 4 or 5, that could be helpful. But when it comes down to it, he's the guy that takes the brunt of the punishment. So for me, he's the producer, the bell cow. And just think, as big as he is, to get 2,000 yards. The last time we were talking about 2,000 yards in Tennessee, it was somebody that's basically half his size.
Right, CJ2K. Right.
Yeah. So for him to be that big, that durable, it shows a lot. And to me, quarterbacks are always going to get love, no matter if it's their fault, if they catch the ball or not, they're always going to get the praise. But a running back that takes the punishment, I think he should be in the top of the category for that.
No, facts, dude.
For sure.
I agree with that 100%, man. Scott, what you think, bro? Just from a football.
One of the interesting things.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man. The interesting thing about Derrick Henry and me, man, like you said, he goes off slow, but it's all part of the plan, I think, for the Titans, because he wears you out during the game. And with his size and his physicality, man, that's what he do every game if you pay attention to what he do. And that's the one thing I like about him, man. He a beast, man, and he gonna go out there and weigh your defense down in the fourth quarter, man.
Yeah, especially
when he had those big runs. Man, he had those big runs when that other defense is tired, man, and he just getting started in the fourth quarter, And that's what I like about Derrick Henry. Different, that's what he brings to the game. That's different, that you can say a lot of other running backs don't do in the NFL. His conditioning and his physicality makes him a different type of player, man. Especially when it comes to that toward the end of the game, y'all don't even have to pass the ball. You know what I mean? I just give him the ball, and y'all offensive line don't get enough credit as it does already. That offensive line and them tight ends be moving guys and opening up for him to get the secondary and punish, them other guys, them other teams in the fourth quarter, man, when they tired. So yeah, definitely that's what I look at Derrick Henry. He should be in the conversation for sure. You know what I mean? And when my pick be Aaron Rodgers this year, man, because he came back. Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers is he's a bad man, dude. Just like Stephen A said, that's probably one thing I agree with Stephen A is, when he talks about Aaron Rodgers and things of that nature. He's definitely one of one. Yeah, he's a game changer. He's just a flat out baller. So I don't disagree with you when you say that, Scotto, at all. Just being a football guy, you know what I mean? He's definitely deserving. And so is Patrick Mahomes, I don't really like him, at all. I don't got no love for Patrick at all. You know what I'm saying? We have there's no love-hate relationship. I just don't like the Chiefs, man. Just to keep it all the way trill. As y'all saying, H-Town. You know what I'm saying? To keep it all the way trill.
One thing to look at, and this is just in general. Mm-hmm. For my MVPs, I'm looking at specifically down the stretch in the fourth quarter. When he gets the majority of his yards, look at the games that they've won where Henry's won it on the walk-off style, where he's running for the touchdown, or he's getting 60-plus yards. That's big. In a single quarter, a running back getting 40, 50, 60, 70 yards, that's taking time off the clock. That's moving the chains. That's making sure your defense has better field position for a punt. It's so many different things. It may not be 350 a game, but when you look at how he plays, and okay, cool. There's other running backs in the league, but we don't mention Derrick Henry first and foremost because he may not be the fastest. He may not have the coolest jersey number or whatever. But when it comes down to it, in the fourth quarter, these grown men don't want to tackle him. It's one thing when he comes through and he stiff arms people. How many stiff arms does he have? How many broken tackles does he have? How many pancakes does he have? Because he's out here pancaking people.
Countless.
And only a few will tell you. But when you look at the Titans are the biggest threat besides the Cleveland Browns, fully healthy, to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe that if they played the Kansas City Chiefs right now, today, if they played 10 times out of 10 times, I believe they would at least get them 3 to 4 times.
Hey, say that one more time, just so everybody can hear you, bro. And for the folks that watch the show after this, say that one more time.
The Tennessee Titans faced all the teams 10 times. Right. I believe the Tennessee Titans would have the best shot at beating them the most times, because it's one thing when you can put Patrick Mahomes in a bad situation on defense. It's another when you have a running back that's grinding that clock out, that takes the ability from Mahomes, that takes the ability from Tyreek Hill to go off and Travis Kelce. If you have guys that can eat up yards, even if it's just a field goal, you're taking 9 minutes off the clock. You're taking 6 minutes off the clock, 4 minutes off the clock. There's nothing for you in the fourth quarter.
That's facts, dude. Oh, y'all bringing that heat, man. Y'all making me get like goosebumps right now, man. Some magical things are gonna be happening soon. It sounds like, bro. A lot of faith. So, I mean, with that being said, Sudaman's, he just put a bold prediction here in the comment section. He said Tannehill's gonna go for 4K tomorrow. To reach 4K. Right now, I think he's like 3,600. And then Henry needs 223 yards to hit that 2K mark. AJ and Corey Davis, I know Corey Davis needs like 55 yards, and I think AJ Brown needs 76 yards to get to that 1K level. Do y'all think it's possible tomorrow for that to happen? I mean, we know that Houston's giving up a lot of yards in the rushing game. You know what I mean? But do you guys think that Tannehill's to me? That means Tannehill almost has to throw for like 400 yards to reach that. Yeah, and that's one hell of a day. But think about our receivers, Corey Davis and AJ Brown. Those brothers are cold-blooded. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
big receiver.
Yeah, big, strong, and then the yards after the catch, man. The dudes can make it happen in the open field. They breaking tackles. They both got speed. And like their speed is unnoticeable, man. But their game speed and their gameplay with those pads on, it's different. It's definitely different, man.
I think it's definitely achievable when you look at how the Titans play literally in general. Right. Houston, it's going to have a little bit of, after JJ Watt, called out different people, without naming names, you got to think about this. He did that to prove a point to somebody. He did that to make sure that somebody's knowing, okay, you're not working hard as I'm working, whatever. So they're going to come out with a little bit of fire. But the beautiful thing about Vrabel, he's a master motivator of men. So if he's able to get the guys motivated before that game, it's going to be a dangerous Titans squad all night long.
Man, you sound like a Titans fan, bro.
No, not a Titans fan, but I just call it how I see it. I like Vrabel. I like Vrabel's style as a head coach. I think out of all the Belichick disciples, he's literally going to be the most successful one. If you look at him, he was in the Texans locker room. Right. He knows what they're made of. He knows what they're built of. Right. So it's not like it's going to be foreign to him. He knows J.J. Watt's weaknesses. He knows his strengths. So that gives him that kind of advantage. When it comes to Henry has the advantage versus this defense. They're not as healthy as they want to be. The Titans are where they want to be. It's simple. When you're in, this is what they need to be doing. Winning the AFC South Championship, you get to possibly put the Colts out. You know, it's so many different things that he can do with this. So he's going to have his guys saying, look, you can be at home with a playoff game.
Right. Nah, for sure,
Y'all
man.
come out there playing, though. Y'all come out there playing to let number 4 get a chance, man. I like my chances with number 4.
Hey, and that's what I was just about to jump into. Scotto, you read my mind. I mean, we're going up against number 4 as our opposition. And you know, he went for almost 350 yards or better against us back in week 6. So you know, we barely won that game. It was an overtime. The score was 42-36. We barely won that game. He was slicing us, dicing us, cheesing us up, whatever you want to do, Swiss cheese. He was definitely devastating our defense. It had us on our toes. So with that being said, yeah, man, if he gets going, he's capable of making big things happen. He's got the arm. He has pocket presence. He has escapability. He's got accuracy. And by golly, the brother's got charisma. I love Deshaun Watson. If he had a Titans jersey on, man, I would love him even more. You know what I'm saying? Not even gonna flex, man. Hey, shout out to the.
We can't give y'all everything, man. We gave y'all team.
Hey, shout out to Bud Adams, man. You know. Hey, let me ask you real quick, Scotto. Have you been to any Oilers games over at the Astrodome?
Yeah, I did. My dad took me a long time ago, man.
Tell me about that, bro. Tell me how you felt like your experience.
I had to at least be like 4 or 5, but I really remember that. You know what I mean? And that was something different, man. You know, and I'll never forget that, man. I remember Ernest Givens. You know what I mean? Warren Moon. You know what I mean? Shout out Warren Moon. I went to school with his son. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, that's dope.
Yeah, man. He was a kicker in high school, but you know. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So
that don't surprise me.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, Ernest Givens, man, Dishman, man, we had some players back then, bro. And I still wish I had my jersey back then, you know what I mean? But those was the good days, man. That Love You Blue in Houston, man. That was something different, man. Like, you know, go back to Earl Campbell and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just I'm glad we could start the foundation for y'all, man, and send it to Tennessee, man. You know what I mean? And y'all kept it going.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah,
That's funny, man. That's funny, man. Hey, shout out to everybody here in the comment section. I'm gonna get to y'all, man. Hey, Songs Unlimited said, hold on now. Let me read his comment. He said, don't get it twisted. Y'all not going past the wild card with Tannehill at quarterback. Man, I mean,
yeah.
Tannehill, but the thing is, if Tannehill can stay within his strengths and within the confines of our offense, throwing the ball less than 30 times a game, he's a phenomenal quarterback. Anything outside of that, he's definitely has room for progress and for improvement. So, you know, I'm not going to disagree with that statement by any means, because I think if he gets outside of his, like I said, outside of his realm and outside of his comfortability, you know, that always poses an issue for us. But like I said, I strongly feel we're gonna play throughout February. We're gonna get that Super Bowl. We're gonna win that thing. I think it's gonna be our year to do it, man.
But he has to remember what happened last year. Ryan Tannehill had one of the best stretches. It wasn't just Derrick Henry.
Right.
Ryan Tannehill truly gets a bad rap. And
he does, but when I say that though, he definitely, if he is put in a position where he has to throw the football, he is not as successful. It has to be a firm balance of that play action, that RPO. You know, having those times where he gets the ball out quick, which is where he's in his best, when he gets the ball out quick. You know what I mean? We have to make that first read when he's holding on to that ball. That poses an issue. So But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, my guy. My bad.
No, you good. You good. When I'm looking at Ryan Tannehill's career in the NFL, he's gotten a bad rap. Look at how he got to Miami. He had an organization that didn't really believe in him. He had an organization that, Adam Gase is. You're seeing what Adam Gase is for what he is right now. And you're also looking at, okay, Adam Gase has not had any success since Peyton Manning.
Right.
So we're now looking at Ryan Tannehill having success in Tennessee. Is Ryan Tannehill a worse quarterback or something like that? No. He's using his legs. When you get Tannehill in the play action with Derrick Henry, that fits his suit better.
It does.
So you need to call plays that are going to play action. When you do a little bit of play action, you don't have to do the whole game, but you can also do stuff misdirection. You have several things that you can use with the Titans' athletic tight ends.
Right.
Two basically top 10-ish wide receivers. If you put those two Titans receivers on any other team, they would be either 1 or 1A to the starting elite wide receiver. So to me, you have to let Tannehill be the quarterback. We can't baby him, but we also have to give him, direction and say, look, don't throw the game away for us. You can win the game, but don't throw it away. Give him enough rope to where he can maneuver, where he can call his own plays. Give him a script of 15 straight plays that he's comfortable with. Set your team up for success. Right. The Texans are good. Deshaun Watson is great, but he's not playing defense. So you have the advantage. All you got to do is screen away from J.J. Watt. Right. You can cut J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt is not the elite DN that he was years ago.
He's got 5 sacks this year. You know what I mean?
Got big numbers. Still got him and his brother got the most tackles for loss in the league. And he's still performing at a high level.
He definitely is.
JJ Watt we're talking about.
He's definitely not. And he's definitely still on our radar. You know what I mean? So we're gonna, we'll have our mission, we'll have our scheme set up to make sure he's not penetrating.
Let me ask you this, Chief. In Houston, and this is just on the Texans, if you had to pick the MVP, even though the team's having a bad year on that defense, would your MVP be somebody else besides the name of J.J. Watt? With his current stats right now, when you have one of the league leading tacklers on your team.
He's got an interception this year too. I would say J.J. Watt if I was asked that question.
I would say J.J. An MVP is from the locker room to the field. You know what I mean? And he's sure about what he does. So when I say MVP, that's what I would say. You know what I mean? It's not just talking. You got to do it in the locker room. And like you just said earlier, what he did in that press conference was big because he's motivating them troops right now. And he's talking to his defense because the offense, Deshaun got the offense. It's nobody else on the team he's gonna be talking to but the defense. And making sure that defense get an offensive chance to win the game.
Okay. The way I take
definitely, I feel like JJ is still that guy.
Okay. The way
I would agree. I would agree too.
Be honest with
in
you.
that locker room specifically, I would have to agree. You know what I'm saying?
I see it a little differently. I think this is J.J. Watt's last game as a Texan.
Okay.
There's been some rumors.
I want to see him go. I want to see him go play with his brothers or play for a championship. I'm not mad about that. He's done an amazing job in Houston, man, on the field and off the field. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta let your best players, you know what I mean, toward the end of their career, go chase what they need, what they want. You know what I mean? And my dream scenario would be him going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean? Because they still got a chance too. You know what I mean? So
that'll make
JJ would have to.
That'll make 3 Watt brothers, right?
Cap number.
That would make 3 Watt brothers over there, right? In Pittsburgh. That would make 3.
Oh, exactly. 3.
Okay. I got you. Well, man, I mean, that's
we rebuilding, but the mission statement is we're trying next year. We're not trying to rebuild. You know what I mean? We got pieces already. Even though our wide receivers did what they did. Say it again.
Do you think Romeo Crennel is going to be the head coach next year?
That's a negative, sir.
I hope not. I hope not.
Hey, low key, I want Dabo to come over.
Hey, there's been some rumors and rumblings going on. Hey, speaking about rumors and rumblings, Steph and I were talking about earlier of some potential moves in Jacksonville in the AFC South, man. So that definitely has an effect on the Tennessee Titans, man. So Steph, man, go ahead and tell the folks what we were talking about earlier. The rumors and rumblings.
Some of the news and notes and rumblings around the NFL. A lot of people on the inner circle of the NFL are talking about Jacksonville Jaguars. Currently, they do have a head coach right now. He's going to be up-seated basically at the end of the year. You're looking at several teams like the Jets are going to get rid of their coach. The Jaguars, the Texans have already done so. And there's two big rumors. The first rumor is that the Jacksonville Jaguars could be entertaining the idea of bringing in Urban Meyer as their head coach. The rumors are heating up, and they're talking about this, and this puts into play Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. If you're Urban Meyer, you were up close and personal. You saw him every day. You were advisor at Ohio State after a head coach. You've seen him good. You've seen him bad. Would you take Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence? And then the other big shocker, I believe in my heart of hearts, if Baker Mayfield loses that game tomorrow, he will not be a member of the Cleveland Browns anymore as well.
I can see that.
So Stefanski is not impressed. Stefanski is not impressed with how Baker's been playing. It's been a slight improvement from last year. Don't get me wrong, but without Odell Beckham, and if you get a different quarterback in there that has a better upside, what happens if you put a Marcus Mariota in there? What happens if you put a Cam Newton in there? A different set of quarterbacking versus Baker. He's a smaller quarterback. He takes a lot of risk. He makes mistakes. He doesn't make the big throws when he needs to. It's several things that lead to Baker's demise. Even though they lost to the Jets, you got to look at it. He didn't have his wide receivers. I thought that they still could have won that game if Baker would have played better against the Jets, and they wouldn't even be in this situation right now.
Agreed, man. That could
I've never been a believer.
Go ahead, my bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, I just said I've never been a believer in Baker. Me coming from Texas, I mean, you know, essentially every team has a quarterback from Texas on their team, including the Titans. But I'm not gonna go there. But what I'm saying is that Baker Mayfield doesn't have a moxie. You know, he talk more than he play. You know what I mean? Right. I look at it. You put a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick with the Cleveland Browns, I feel like they'll do better than Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? You ain't got to shoot for the sky, but get a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. Give him a chance to win games with all those weapons there. I can see it. And then when he said about Urban Meyer going to Jacksonville, that'll be big. I feel like in the next couple of years, AFC South is going to be one of the biggest, strongest conferences in the league. You know what I mean? Especially Jacksonville having this pick at quarterback. It's not a bad situation to have a situation that you got to pick out of two quarterbacks that can change your whole organization. Like the AFC South is going to be crazy. You know what I mean? So I definitely like them, both those analysis. And if that happened, that's just better for the AFC South to me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, say it again.
I was saying, well, that just gives us, Titans fans more reason for us to make sure that we're, in positive spirits, making sure we take care of business and potentially win a Super Bowl this year or the next. While we got these players, because I agree with you. In a few years, the AFC South is going to be one of those top-notch, divisions, for us to be reckoned with. So I agree with you, my man, 100%. But my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. But let me just get into some of these comments right quick. AZ Mick, shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. Tighten up. Durga Time, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. If you haven't already, folks, hit that like button. Share, like, and subscribe to the Two Tone Zone. Just share the video with your friends, family, your loved ones, and talking about family and loved ones. Let's send a prayer out to D Weez and make sure that he's recovered. I mean, as you all know, he's not in the show this evening. Huge pivotal piece to this show. We love you, man. We definitely hope that you whatever you're going through right now, we hope you overcome it and just make sure you come out on top, man. All the prayers and all the good energy goes out to you and your family, my guy. Definitely get better. Folks, if you get a minute or two, yeah, if you get a minute or two, say a little prayer for D Weez, man. Absolutely.
Get well soon, D Weez. Get well soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Carson Wentz going to bring
well,
down
man,
credibility, though. What was that, bro? My bad.
Man, prayer for my sister. We found out my sister got been diagnosed, man, and she's in the hospital, man, and just ask for prayers for her also, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, bro. I'll definitely do that. Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Get well soon to your sis as well, Chief.
Yeah, man. Big facts, man. You let me know you need something, Scotto. Let me know. I'm here for you.
Right on, bro.
Yep. Hey, my nephew's in the chat right there. Zabo, he in the chat. He's an Eagles fan like you, Steven.
Yes, sir.
He's not too happy with what happened right now. He believes in Jalen Hurts. He thinks Jalen Hurts is the next man up. What are your thoughts on that? Since we're talking about it.
Well, for me, and this is just my thought, my philosophy. I believe that they put Jalen Hurts out there not as a starter moving forward, but as trade bait. They're getting him to boost his value by playing, and then all of a sudden they're going to trade Jalen away to try to get draft compensation.
Right.
At the end of this year, you're going to lose D-Jack. You're going to lose Alshon Jeffrey. You're going to lose a lot of these big contracts that you don't necessarily need. And it makes way for us to possibly draft younger wide receivers. We have to get younger in the draft at wide receiver, and we have to get rid of Zach Ertz at this point. His relationship with the Eagles has soured. His relationship with Carson Wentz has soured. Let's try to get rid of him, get something for him rather than nothing. I like what we have at the tight end position. Wide receiver, we have to grow because it's one thing, but it's one eyesore. But the biggest thing I think we could possibly do, go in the draft, get some offensive linemen as well.
Do you like Doug Peterson moving forward as a leader of that team, the franchise, the locker room? Do you like Doug?
Just being honest with you, I don't believe in Doug Peterson anymore. I believe he's lost the locker room.
Yes,
I believe that his play calling has gotten stale, excuse me. And I believe that it's no Andy Reid, because when you look at the Chiefs, even though they call the same plays every week, it's different formulas to how they get to those plays. It's not just boom, we're calling the same exact script over and over. Andy Reid may give you a screen this week with Travis Kelce. He may run the same play, but all of a sudden Tyreek Hill's getting the end around. It's different things that we haven't seen from Mahomes yet. And that's the scary part. Because if that offense hits on all cylinders, think about this. One of the Chiefs really connected on third down this year. They only had one real game. That was when they faced the Raiders the second time.
Yep.
But if they were to hit on all cylinders and Tariq's getting the ball, Travis Kelce's getting the ball, Sammy Watkins getting the ball, they have legit 4 guys that can get the ball on any play because their quarterback can make every throw.
That is true.
Here we go. Yep.
That is true, man. I agree with you on that Doug Peterson statement. On all levels, you definitely have to have your locker room in sync and in tune, definitely respecting your process and your philosophy and how you do things. So 100%. I'm surprised he wasn't fired earlier this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired tomorrow at the last game of the season.
Well, you got to think he's not the one buying the groceries for the team now. That's probably his only saving grace.
Yeah.
Right. That is true.
At least y'all had a problem we had. The GM and the head coach was the same guy, man. We had to get him out of there.
That was possibly the worst trade ever in NFL history. That trade of D-Hop.
It was.
That was, and you got to think, they didn't even get 50 cents on the dollar on that trade.
Oh, they did. It was peanuts.
D-Hop
peanuts.
Transitional talent, and then to give Miami a top 5 pick. That's the craziest thing for Laramie Tunsil. No disrespect to Larry.
Yep.
I mean, Laramie, he's not worth that pick.
They didn't even get 50 cents on the dollar.
Nah. But he's doing a good job for Deshaun, though. I give him that. Better than what we had.
I mean, I give you that. I respect it. I mean, I truly respect it. But I just think I would have, if anything else, you got to think, y'all had a left tackle at first, Dwayne Brown, and he gave Dwayne Brown away for peanuts.
Brown
gave Clowney away for peanuts.
Oh, yeah. Oh. the whole regime that Bill O'Brien did was to sabotage the whole organization to me. Every move he made never made sense. And the only one I'm gonna give him is drafting Fuller. And now I'm second guessing that after him getting caught with the PEDs, you know what I mean? So like if we had D Hop right now, I would pick. It's gonna be. I'll say it'll be a closer game tomorrow. I tell you that. You know what I mean? But that's gonna be a tough game against y'all. You know what I mean? So well, I'm glad that's over with. We starting over fresh new year, but you know, Bill O'Brien was the demise of the Texans this season for sure. I mean, you said it from Clowney, Dwayne Brown. It's a whole list of moves he made that. And the point was he didn't have control of his locker room, and that was my point. That's what he said. D Hop had control of the locker room, and he had to get. He said he wanted to give it to Noah, but it wasn't about that. It was for him to get control of the team.
It was all about ego.
At the end of the day, you see ego, and he got up out of there. He's not Belichick, and that's what thought he was.
You see, he pissed off J.J. Watt.
Right. I mean, with that being said, man, I mean, with that being said, Texans are coming in, you know, 7.5 point underdog in the game, man. What are y'all's predictions on the game tomorrow, man, as far as outcome and score goes? I predicted 42-17. You know, I think it's going to be a little bit of a blowout, if you ask me. Just to be honest, I just think the Titans are going to come in with that firepower and with that focus and with that tenacity and that energy just to come out there and control the game. No disrespect to the organization, Scotto, man, but that's just how I feel. You know, we definitely got to come off a rebound victory after just getting manhandled by the Packers, you know, last Sunday. Yeah. So we definitely need to win this game and win the AFC South, man. What are your thoughts on tomorrow's game?
I look at it a little different, man. With this being one of the last, the season for us, you got guys playing for contracts right now. You got coaches that's trying to get contracts. Our guys gonna be rallying tomorrow. And it's not. I think it's gonna be a little closer than that. I look at it being 34-28 Titans, but I feel like Deshaun not gonna go away quiet, man. He's a special guy. And I feel like it's gonna be some magic and some sparks gonna happen tomorrow, especially on the offensive side for both teams. On offensive side, you know, I feel like Deshaun Watson can definitely capitalize on some of y'all weaknesses on the defense. And I mean, he's gonna do what he always do. You know what I mean? He's been doing it every week. So
you saying he's gonna go out there and expose our secondary? You know what you saying?
he do it a lot, man. He do it a lot, you know.
Yeah. Hey, y'all are down. Y'all are down 2 offensive linemen right now, and our pass rush. You know, we have about 15 sacks combined as a team, as a total defense. Yep. And so, brother, man, like if we can't get a sack on Deshaun Watson tomorrow, a sack or 2 or maybe 3, you know, I've lost all faith in our defensive line. I mean, we got Jeffrey Simmons, Daquan Jones, Matt Dickerson, Jack Crawford, you know, Derrick Roberson, he's questionable. He's got some injuries going on. You know what I mean? And Harold Landry, he's leading our team right now in sacks, man, but we just can't seem to get him, bro. So if our pass rush ain't getting there, that means Watson got time for you know, to expose our secondary. So, man, I'm just hoping and praying that our defense shows up and shows out tomorrow, bro. I'm really hoping.
Yeah. But you know how guys play for those contracts, man, at the end of the season.
Sure.
And they got something to prove, man. And that's the thing I say. If it wasn't that last game, and it seemed like we play y'all that last game the last 2 years, it's the last game of the season we play y'all. So it's gonna be interesting, man. And it's like I said, it's a rivalry game. And everybody knows that. You know what I mean? So you put yourself in one of our guys' shoes. You want to shine tomorrow. You know what I mean? And let other teams and let the team you playing for know that, hey, I got something. Hey, and I feel like guys gonna come out and play. Guys that ain't had. Yep, but it's guys that ain't had a chance that's gonna come out and ball just to show teams, you know, for film that, hey, I can play. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it's gonna be more interesting than what most people think. Man, it's gonna be a good game.
Man, I could dig that. What you
Even
think?
though I picked y'all to win.
Right.
I believe Deshaun Watson is going to get his tomorrow. I don't think the Titans have enough on defense to slow him down, but I think that when you look at the offensive side of the ball, it's a good thing for the Titans. He doesn't have Will Fuller. Brandon Cooks is always a dice roll. You don't know what he's going to give you. Sometimes when he's covered, he puts up big numbers. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's injury prone. He takes one big hit, and it's kind of the end of the day for him. The big thing for the Texans, keep the ball out of Deshaun Watson's hands. You're probably going to have success. That's going to be the big thing moving forward. But I see the Titans winning that one. I don't have an actual score. I believe 13. Well, I believe just about 13, 14 points will be the difference. But I believe Derrick Henry will get his. I believe Derrick Henry will get his rushes. Vrabel is that kind of guy that's going to make sure he's going to get his touches. I could see him easily running for 25, 30 times tomorrow, getting them a little bit in the screen game where he can get his hands on the ball a little earlier. But I will say I believe the end score will be mid-20s. I believe the Texans are going to put about 20, 25 points up. They have that kind of offense. But I believe the Titans literally have enough to put up 35. If you give Henry the ball short goal line situations, they're going to punch that in. The O-line is still pretty good for the Titans, so I just look at it like that.
Yeah, the O-line is questionable to me, man. I know people say, our O-line is pretty solid, man. But if you watch, Titans game from start to finish, man, like there's a lot of miscommunication, a lot of plays that happen in the opposition's favor, man. I'm talking about just Tannehill being, pressured to throw the ball too soon, getting off beat, getting off balance, or even him getting sacked, man. He's been sacked 22 times this year. So he's getting sacked at least a little over one time a game. You know what I'm saying? So I give credit to our offensive line, man, but they definitely bother me, especially on that left side. You know what I mean? With Questenberry. And then you have Roger Saffold, man. I think they need better synergy, better communication there. So yeah, with that being said, I mean, so you think he's gonna get his 2K tomorrow? You think he's gonna rush for over 223?
Because as good as the Texans defense is, no disrespect to anybody, I don't think they're going to be able to stop that momentum. Because the Titans, when you're playing for somebody, when the whole team's behind somebody, the whole team believes in Henry. They're down for Henry. So to me, it's almost like, remember when Deshaun Watson willed his team past Alabama in college?
Right.
It's one of those situations. You may not see it at first. Just think about how at least 3 games this year, Derrick Henry has carried the Titans into the end zone to win the game when nobody thought they had a chance. And just look at it. Look what he did against the Jags. Even though the Jags are a bad team, they're still an NFL team.
Right. Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
That's fact.
And he doesn't get the credit for being as big as he is and also as fast as he is. So when I'm looking at, I don't see, besides J.J. Watt, I don't see anybody Derrick Henry's size that he's just going to be like, okay, I got to be intimidated.
Yeah.
And when they move J.J. Watt around, they can easily use screeners. They can bring in that fullback. They can bring in a tight end, a chip. There's things you can do to get J.J. Watt out the game. He's not the spring chicken that he used to be. So I've noticed a lot on third down, J.J. Watt is not in the football game. He gets gassed easily because he's not in that old mode anymore where he's defensive player of the year every year.
For sure.
And you play football long enough, you'll get as many injuries as he's gotten. It wears on your body.
Yeah.
I agree.
He's not an every down player.
No, he's not.
And that's no disrespect to him because in his prime, in his heyday, he was that guy.
Yeah.
No, you ain't lying, man. Hey, shout out to Titan Weez tuning in. Titan Weez, man. Salute to you as well. Pyro Jones, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. Tighten up indeed. That's all day, every day, man. Hey, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, too, just want to give a shout out to my brothers over at Infinite Sports Network, Detroit Lions Talk with Micro Mike, Gridiron Blitz, Troxel Sports Talk over there with Travis, Noble Sports ENT, Mark Orms Forum, and Let's Talk Titans, man. So go check those brothers out over at Infinite Sports Network. It's all sports analysis. Please don't hesitate to go check them out and check out their content. It's consistent, it's fire, and it's accurate. So definitely do that. I wanted to talk about some injuries on the Titans real quick. Just a quick pivot, just for my Titans fans that are in the comments or in the comment section, or who's ever listening right now. So with that being said, nobody's been ruled out as of yet, but there's definitely some concerns for me. That's with Derrick Roberson. He didn't practice. He's been dealing with some injuries, and that's gonna definitely deplete our pass rush even worse than it's already been. So on a brighter note, Ben Jones will be available. Dennis Kelly will be available as well. Kerry Blasingame was limited at practice on Friday. He's dealing with an ankle injury, and I feel like that's a huge pivotal piece to our running game. He's our fullback. He's our lead blocker, so he's definitely opening up some holes and some room for Derrick to navigate through. So hopefully we see him out there on Sunday. Dory Jackson was a full participant in practice. AJ Brown, he didn't practice on Friday. He's been dealing with that ankle injury, so we may or may not see him tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I would love to see him out there, but if he's not able to give it a go, by all means, definitely set him on the bench and rest him. Even though he is 76 yards away from that 1K, man, but it's all about his health and him being available moving forward. Corey Davis, he was a full participant in practice. He didn't practice early in the week. I believe he had a baby, man. So salute to you and that blessing, Corey Davis. If you're listening, shout out to you, definitely. And then Darren Bates, he didn't practice. He's been dealing with a hip injury, so he doesn't really get much playing time. But when he does go in, he definitely gives it his all. He's a huge asset on special teams, and when he's asked to go out there and run a couple snaps on defense, man, he's an asset for us. So, hey, what are your thoughts on Isaiah Wilson, Steven? I mean, I know you're familiar with Isaiah Wilson, man. He's been dealing with some issues, some personal issues, some DUIs, some maturity issues, and just partying way too much. Just recently, he was caught partying. I think bad news is just following him everywhere. But what are your thoughts on Isaiah Wilson, man? Being that he was one of our first round draft picks.
So one of the most humbling experiences you have to understand is what Dwayne Haskins is going through right now. Mm-hmm. When you are a very talented young man, but your production does not match your issues, you become expendable. And a team will tolerate you as long as you can produce on that football field. Just think about this. In the NFL, we've seen people beat their wives. We've seen people do all kind of stuff. Look at Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon got every chance in the book, was suspended his 6th time out of the NFL. And because he's that talented of a player, they kept trying to bring him back. Sometimes you got to sit him down. If I'm the Tennessee Titans, you're suspended for a year. And then we're starting there. Because sometimes you could be talented and somebody just needs to get your attention. Once his friends, his family realize, oh, he ain't getting paid. Oh, where the money at? Where's you can't live that lifestyle. You can't live off of him. Then somebody may get through to his head. Because sometimes it may not be, Coach Vrabel may have to make a tough decision. It may not be popular with the Titans fans because it affects them being able to win. But you got to think, saving this young man's life is probably what he needs best. And as a coach, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. As a person, if you care about your players, think about this. If Derrick Henry did those same things, but he was able to produce on Sunday, do you think Derrick Henry should play?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying. His production doesn't match.
Right.
So therefore, you got to sit the young man down. I get he's a first round pick, but you have to make a stand. That sends a message to your locker room that, hey, you can't just do what you want to do. You got to think, partying during this COVID situation, you risk getting the whole entire locker room sick. What happens if he gets the Titans organization sick before a playoff game? Then what?
Right. And we've already had bad luck with COVID-19, man, from the start of the season until now. Gostkowski's out, which brings me into my next subject. Sam Sloman's going to be our field goal kicker on Sunday, and He's a rookie, doesn't have much of a rep. He's definitely missed some field goals this year, even some extra points. So leading into just being smart and just being and thoughtful and mindful of what your decisions possibly could lead into, like getting your teammates sick. So another thing on a bright note for us, Brett Kern was activated. He'll be punting for us on Sunday. So best punter in the league. Good to have him out there on Sunday. But yeah, man, I agree for sure. I got some questions for Scotto, man. I'm gonna keep the show for about an hour, just right at an hour. But I got some questions for you, man. Do you think the Tennessee Titans are a Super Bowl contender? Honest opinion. And then real quick before you answer, let me get a shout out to Foster Tate, man. Thank you for tuning in. Weez is feeling under the weather tonight, so make sure you send a prayer out to him, and just hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully it's minor and something he can overcome here real soon. But yeah, what are your thoughts on us being a Super Bowl contender, Scotto?
Last year I thought y'all was a Super Bowl contender because the way y'all handle Baltimore, you know what I mean? When you can run the ball in football, a lot of things happen right. You know what I mean? So I shout out to Titans for sure. When you can run the football like y'all do, you slow the other offense down no matter how spectacular they are. So I just look out. I'm a former ball player myself, and when you can run the ball, what the other offense does, you take them out of what they're used to and what they accustomed to doing in the game. So y'all definitely, to me, I don't think y'all defense was as good as it was last year, but definitely I feel like y'all Super Bowl contender for sure. Y'all should be in the conversation for sure. You know what I mean? And definitely don't sleep on y'all, because it's only a handful of teams that I look at like y'all, the Titans, and the other team that I look at is like the Bills. The Titans or the Bills are my sleepers. I feel like they got what it takes to get to the Super Bowl and win. Sleepers.
Do you feel like from a standpoint, Buffalo has the advantage, or would you consider the Titans having the advantage when you compare those two head to head?
That's a good question. I would say Buffalo. The only reason I say Buffalo is because of the quarterback situation. I'm not big on Tannehill, but even though he's from Texas too, but Josh Allen's ceiling is so high that you don't know what he can do yet. You know what I mean? So
I think you hit the nail on the head. To me, the only thing that scares me, and this is just in general, Buffalo has certain streaks where Josh Allen doesn't look as good.
Yep.
And then not saying, if you look in their wins, they've struggled a little bit. They let teams hang around quite a bit. Even when you look at that game against the Steelers, it was several times where they could have punched the ball in to go in the head a little bit earlier. Yep. I wish they would have, loosened the reins a little bit on Josh earlier in that game. But, there's times where he'll throw 3 interceptions in a football game and look you straight in the face and be smiling and grinning.
But that goes back to coaching also, putting your quarterback in a position to win the game also. I feel like Buffalo's success has came so fast that, sometimes you can get success so fast, it just, you startle kind of like, hey, I can't believe we're here right now, And that's sometimes I see that with Buffalo, you know what I mean? Because nobody expected them to, play the way they playing right now. But like when we go back to Tennessee, we know what Tennessee does. They run the ball. And I appreciate teams that run the ball because football has gone to the high scoring, throw the ball, run and shoot. You know what I mean? And I love a team that can run the ball. And when you got a pill to slow that down, that's run the ball. And you can't do all that throwing the ball. You got to, manage the clock. And when you manage the clock, it's hard to do the things that you're used to doing. So I give it to, like you said, I give it to Buffalo because we don't know Josh Allen's ceiling. I know what Tannehill's ceiling is. He's probably one of the best game managers in the league for sure. But Josh Allen, he got some special intangibles about him, and that's why I would choose Buffalo.
For sure. Well, I disagree. All Titans fans gonna disagree with you too, man. But I appreciate and respect that opinion, my guy. Mario Houston, man. Thanks for tuning in, my brother, man. I definitely love your insight that you have over on Titan Upload, man, over there with Mark when you're on the show. So thank you for tuning in. You chimed in, and your comment says, I don't think we are because of our defense. You can't win without a pass rush. Our defense was better last year, and we had a great coordinator in Peace. Yeah, I mean, you make great points, man. And I always just try to, be faithful and just always, and just be positive in my outlook. And so I feel like we can contend and play through February. Winning if we figure it out. Hopefully sooner than later, for sure. Thanks for tuning in again, Mario. Foster Tate. Send out a little prayer for D Weez for sure. So y'all keep up the good work. We appreciate the coverage. Tighten up, man. Salute. Definitely tighten up. Scotto, we talked about you having love and respect for the Oilers, man, for the Titans, just being that we're one and the same. Who's your favorite Oiler of all time?
Off the muscle is Earl Campbell, man. You can't. I would say Warren Moore, but Earl Campbell was a different type of guy, man. He was the first AP. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just pure power and speed. You know what I mean? And he was one of those guys. Put him on the field. You knew what play we was gonna run. Stop it. And that's basically what the Oilers used to do it, and that's why I used to love it. You know what I mean? So
right.
Earl Campbell was that guy, man, for sure.
For sure. Well, that leads into my next question, man. Who's a better running back, Derrick Henry or Earl Campbell?
That's easy, man. That was very disrespectful, by the way. I just want you to know that. But that guy, that's Earl Campbell, man. I mean, he got his own sausage, bro.
I got you.
When Henry start getting his own endorsements like that, bro, I start thinking about it a little bit more, man. You know what I'm saying? But
I got you.
Hey, man.
When he got his hot links, when he got his own King Henry hot links, man.
Hey, but look, he come from that same.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I will say this.
No, I'm just saying they come from the same pedigree, though.
Right.
Yeah, I will say that. But when you look at today's running backs, they're few and far between that were great or elite. So I think when it's all said and done, Derrick Henry will be looked at as better than Earl Campbell. When you look at the great running backs from just a decade, not even a decade ago, the last great running backs from the 2000s, you got two running backs that get consistently mentioned. Then you have a couple of others. Those two running backs, LaDainian Tomlinson and Adrian Peterson. Those are the two running backs that come up most interesting for that. But, I mean, when you think about it, during the 2000s, name another running back besides those two. You don't get Jamal Charles. You don't get Priest Holmes.
Nope.
You don't hear Arian Foster. You don't hear all those guys that were really good because they didn't do enough to possibly be in the Hall of Fame. So when it comes down to it, having a 2K season is one of those things. Look at Chris Johnson. As good as he was, I don't think he'll make the Hall of Fame. Maybe the Titans Hall of Fame. But when you're looking at it, Earl Campbell was that guy. And, I mean, that guy, he was a biggin. There's nothing you could do with him. So just the iconic ripping off of the jersey. I forgot who he ran head first into, and they ripped his whole jersey off trying to hold on to him.
Jersey on. Yep.
That's iconic.
He broke a couple of heads.
Yeah, you got to think about that. Earl Campbell, I mean.
Right. I can't disagree with neither one of you. I would say Earl Campbell, without a doubt. Oh yeah, man. I guess that about wraps it up for the show tonight, guys. I mean, I definitely wanted to keep the show right about an hour. Just wanted to give a few updates with the roster. As far as updates go, Sam Sloman is going to be our kicker tomorrow. We also activated Brooks Reed, outside linebacker from the practice squad. He's gotten some snaps.
I think you froze up, bro. I can't hear you.
All right, we
You
good
there?
now?
Oh, he back now.
Could y'all hear me? Could y'all hear me at all?
Nah, we couldn't hear nothing.
Nah.
Oh, okay. Okay, for sure. But hey, man, thank y'all so much for blessing the show with y'all's presence, bringing your knowledge and insight, and just bringing some of that football acumen, man. That here at Two Tone Zone we're all about, just bringing that football acumen and bringing that fire, man. You guys definitely did that. For the folks that tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in and chiming in, giving your opinions. We all appreciate it. Please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and definitely hit that like button. But definitely tighten up, guys, and we'll definitely see you for the post-game show breakdown. D. Weez may or may not be on the show, depending on how he feels. So once again, please send prayers out to him and take your time, man, and just get well. That's what's most important. Just get well, brother. We love you, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, but we want to give, before we get out of here, we want to give you your flowers, Chief. Shout out to you for being a great host, hospitable host.
Appreciate
Kudos
it.
to you, hand claps to you. Prayers out to D. Weez. As we know, hopefully he feels better. But you holding down the fort, you stepping up. Pat yourself on the back. This YouTube channel is not only going to be great, it's a movement. It's growing. Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute, man. Hey, you on that path.
Joey. I appreciate it. Big time, man. Big time. But yeah, man. Until next time, folks. Hey, Scotto, man, if you want to come back on for the post game breakdown, man, you're definitely invited. So we'll figure that out, and we'll coordinate a time.
Don't threaten me with a good time,
Titans fans. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all are watching the Two Zone, and hey, for sure, man. Hey, say less, bro. We can make it happen then. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed night. Tighten up indeed, and we'll see you soon. Until next time. All right, man, now.
Blessings, man. Happy New Year.
Blessing.
Happy New Year, all.
Yep.